Nobody eats The Simpsons. Let me play you this clip.
Nobody eats the Simpsons.
All right, so that clip to me, that's always in my mind. Now, I know Homer Simpson, we're not supposed to emulate him or he's supposed to be the buffoon, but
Nobody eats the Simpsons.
it's like, I think that's how we all feel when a conspiracy theory is attempted to be foisted upon the population or someone tries to trick you. It's like, hey.
Nobody eats the Simpsons.
And that whole scene, it's basically one of the best conspiracy theory scenes where Lisa comes in and tries to expose the aliens for trying to eat the humans, plump up the people to eat them.
Stop! Don't you see what's happening here? They're fattening us up so they can eat us!
So she's dropping the conspiracy theory, and the whole Simpson family's mad at Lisa because they're gorging their face with all this food that the aliens are giving them. They don't want to have to deal with the conspiracy that Lisa's presenting because that would have to cause them to modify their behavior.
Oh, come on, Lisa.
You don't believe me? Then just look at this book that I found.
Look, she's right.
And give up all that great food that they're being fed. And there's so many ways to interpret it.
Right.
Humans, you have stopped eating.
That line is even better than the other lines. Humans, you have stopped eating. You have no idea how many times I've said, humans, you've stopped eating.
Humans, you have stopped eating.
To me, it has nothing to do with them eating food. It has to do with believing in the mainstream narrative when someone else comes along and says, hey, they're lying to fake news. You stopped eating. How come you stopped consuming our fake news? And it could be in all different kinds of ways, but basically it's breaking that deception. And the controllers, in this case, Kang and Kodos.
Humans, you have stopped eating.
And not only are they saying like, how come you're not believing our lies anymore? They're also feeding them lies. So basically the food that the Simpsons are eating, that's the lie. They're feeding them lies, filling them up with lies, and then Lisa exposes the lie through the conspiracy theory. They initially get mad at Lisa, not the aliens.
So they can eat us.
Oh, come on, Lisa.
You don't believe me? Then just look at this book that I found.
Everybody gets mad at the conspiracy theorist, the person that's pointing out, hey, something's going on here. No, it's not. Come on, Lisa.
Oh, come on, Lisa.
And then she furnishes the proof, the evidence, and they're like, oh my God, look. And then, oh, hey, whoa, what's going on here?
You don't believe me? Then just look at this book that I found.
Which this all makes me think of this. I'll go right back to The Simpsons, but let me cover this because this relates. In Atlas Shrugged, Part 3, Chapter 6, it's called The Concerto of Deliverance. This chapter is like the same way I felt when Trump got elected. I was like, yes. And not because of the reasons the fake news told you about. It's because for 20 years, I've been trained in creating fake news as my degree. So I was trying to tell people from the year 2001 when I graduated till 2016 when Trump ran. I was like, it's fake news. And everyone was like the Simpsons initially, like, no, it's not the news. They couldn't possibly be lying to us like this. They're not. And so that same feeling I got when Trump got elected, I was like, oh yeah, now you're going to have to live with the fake news being the fake news, and you won't be able to deny it anymore. And also being a conspiracy theorist, it's peeling away at all of the deception, all the lies, and the defense mechanism. I remember David Icke said, propaganda, it's not so much to propagandize other people as so much as it is to keep the people in the fold to continue to believe the lie, to reinforce the Kool-Aid, so to say. And so people don't want to give up the illusion that they live in, the Kool-Aid world that they live in, or the blue pill. Cypher, most people when they watch The Matrix, not me, not a single bone in me likes what Cypher said, but when Cypher says, I've been in The Matrix so long that I've realized, the steak, it's not real, but ignorance is bliss. I talk to so many people, I do these videos, but it's not like I only do videos on YouTube. Every moment of my life, if I get to engage in a person, my entire intention is to get into deep topics. I have no interest in small talk. I have no interest in having an interaction that every interaction is like a sale. Like in Boiler Room, every phone call sale, you either win or you lose that sale. I believe every moment is the story unfolding. I live by the Celestine prophecy. You could see this because I did 10 videos on the original book and then 10 videos on the 10th Insight. I believe every interaction I have is a synchronistic event. Everything is for a purpose. So I'm always trying to drill it in. So that means I have a lot of encounters of deep stuff because I'm not ever going to have just a non-deep convo. And I'd say, I don't know, a good 75% of the people I talk to, if not more, they basically say, yeah, John, I like the blue pill. I like the little illusion that I live under. I'm not really interested in complicating my life that much. So, thanks, but no thanks. Okay, so now back to that feeling that I got when Trump got elected of, oh yeah, because before Trump, and this is I'm gonna get into the politics part. I'm gonna explain why I even do the politics with Trump, because I know a lot of you conspiracy theorists are like, politics, bro. I don't participate.
Humans, you have stopped eating.
Oh, right. Thanks for the reminder. Humans, you stopped eating. So tying it back to this, I always got on these tangents. Concerto of Deliverance. It's basically that scene is the humans, you've stopped eating. In that, the main character, Hank Reardon, he's been manipulated by his family throughout the whole film, and it's in a bad way. And eventually, he finally listens to Francisco de Anconia. He never liked Francisco because he didn't like the way Francisco presented himself. But eventually, he saw that Francisco was a valued man. Like, he knew how to. He helped save Hank's steel refinery, and he eventually finally listens to Francisco. And Francisco was trying throughout the whole book to tell Hank, like, hey, listen, there's these looters out there that are using you. They're using your mind. They're using your money, and they don't care about you. They're just using you. And so he finally hears him out, and then it's basically he got red pilled by Francisco, and then he goes back to his house with a new look on his face. And all of his manipulators and deceivers in his family saw this new look on his face.
Humans, you have stopped eating.
And they realized that their tactics of deception and manipulation and guilt and their false altruism was no longer going to work, which would mean their access to all of his wealth would also be lost. And so this whole scene is them panicking and them trying to force him to continue to give them money. And it's brilliant. This is the concerto, the whole, it's when it all comes together. And then he delivers, and he says, he's like, I would have even given you the money if your solution wasn't for me to cannibalize everything, which you'd have to read the previous 1,000 pages of the book to figure out what that means. But it's reading this, and it's not just this part too. There's a side story of Dagny Taggart giving the finger to the whole board at Taggart Taggart Railroad. And so it's basically the big FU. And Michael Moore was right when he said
Trump's election is going to be the biggest fuck you ever recorded in human history. And it will feel good.
And that's what it was for. I know all of you, none of you are believers in the fake news, but most of you are probably anti-politics. And how do I say this? The election of Trump was years, and it was for conspiracy theorists. And I don't know why. Most conspiracy theorists aren't even conspiracy theorists anymore. They're just Trump trainers, because the Trump train is the conspiracy theory. Think about it. We got Q. Is Q not the biggest conspiracy theory of all time? You got Pizzagate. You have Epstein, fake news, Epstein, which is the trafficking. All the stuff is coming out. This is the biggest disclosure president ever. The info is just pouring out. So when you hear me praise Trump, it has nothing to do with him, the person, Donald Trump. It's this movement of disclosure, of putting it all out there, fighting the New World Order, and winning finally. And not just that, it's the defiance, the absolute defiance. And even if it's all staged, even if this whole thing for Trump is all, I don't care. Because this is what they know, that if one person stands up and gets away with it. So Trump stands up and says, "Damn," and they're like, "No, you got to take it back." And he's like, "Damn." So as he continues to show the defiance, that emboldens other people to then also be defiant. Because everybody, it's all the monkey see, monkey do. One cow goes to, all the cows stay one place, and then one cow goes to the next tree, and then everybody follows. And so as the establishment tries to bring Trump to his knees, and he constantly pushes back and says, "I don't think so." That is empowering. That is emboldening. That is waking that spirit up. Because everybody was beat to death for so long that nobody even knew how to stand up and say, I don't think so. So that's why, if you want to know why, and I even know it could all be scripted and this could all be a plan. I don't care, because it's crafting the show in my image. Because I was Trump before Trump. I'd always say, I don't think so. They're trying to eat us. And everybody say, nuh-uh, that's fake news. Nuh-uh. Well, Trump says, it's fake news. Nuh-uh, yeah, you're fake news. And now you have to live with it. And so this chapter was, because people manipulated me and did all the same thing. Atlas Shrugged, the reason why it impacted me so much was the scenes, the interactions of the characters in the book. And keep in mind, it's a thick, thick book. There's so many interactions. I experienced nearly all of them. All of the altruism, all the techniques to take from me. And the thing when people try to steal my spirit, I give everything away. I will share my kingdom, but you can't take my kingdom. I will share my kingdom. You can't take. It's not good enough to receive all my blessings and all my givings. They have to extort. It's not good enough to them if they're not extorting. So that's why I'm so thrilled about Trump. That's why I'm so thrilled about this. And that's why I'm so thrilled about the humans you've stopped eating, and Lisa pointing out the conspiracy.
Nobody eats the Simpsons.
Because nobody eats the Simpsons.
Nobody eats the Simpsons.
Nobody's going to push propaganda on me and have me go along with it for free. You could buy my allegiance, but don't expect me to push your lies for free. Now, back to the clip with Lisa. So here's how it works. Lisa tells them, they deny it. She shows the evidence.
Stop! Don't you see what's happening here? They're fattening us up so they can eat us.
Oh, come on,
You
Lisa.
don't believe me? Then just look at this book that I found.
And then Kodos shows up, or one of the aliens is behind her saying, what? No, that's not.
Look, she's right.
Humans, you have stopped eating.
Listen, you big, stupid space creature.
And this is where the shifting the narrative and the disinfo comes in.
I beg your pardon.
Don't play dumb with me. We found your book.
You mean this? It's a harmless cookbook. It's just a little dusty.
They have to then shift the story that they're not trying to eat people. It's how to cook for humans. And then Lisa looks a little further. It's a little bit more investigate. Wait a minute. It's how to cook 40 humans.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
And then they do their control the narrative campaign. They do their limited hangout. They do their creating the disinfo.
There's still more space dust on here.
Muddy the waters, cloud the sand. Wait a minute. There's still a little bit of space dust on this. How to cook for 40 humans. And then all the Simpsons, we don't have to deal with it. We get to keep eating our free food.
Let me get this straight.
They thought we were going to eat them.
And then once they realized the Simpsons figured it out, they then used fake altruism. Oh, you thought we were going to eat you. Oh, well, we got to return you back to your planet. You're no good. You're ungrateful for taking a look and asking questions. How dare you? Nobody eats the Simpsons. How to cook 40 people. All right, well, we just covered that.
You people, and
Well, if you wanted to make Serac the Preparer cry, mission accomplished.
you aren't the only beings who have emotions, you know.